Teenager. You become one when you reach the age of 13, and you are one from your last years of middle school to the beginning of your university. However, something I have realized is that sometimes all I want to do is lay in bed all day, talk to no one, and of course, stay in my room without any contact of anyone. And you know what? Some people will call this being lazy, not caring, inactive. Some will even go as far as comparing me to as lost. But in reality, sometimes you just need a mental break from everything and nothing. And I'm here to tell you it's 100% valid. To start off, I must start by introducing myself. I am Valeria Samano Rios, and I'm about to graduate from 9th grade. And as amazing as it sounds to say that sentence, I must furiously say that it took me very much dedication to even be here. If we're being completely honest right now, I actually wrote this precise speech that I am currently saying less than 24 hours before the due date. And I know it sounds really disappointing, and I got no excuse, but as far as I'm concerned, I was able to finish. Perhaps not how everything was planned, but I did. I went at my own pace. I took the reins and responsibilities, and I believed in myself that I would finish this essay. And surprise, surprise, I actually did it. Now, I'm going to give you a bit of a backstory as to when, why, and how I was writing this speech really late. Well, for starters, I was lacking inspiration for some time. I didn't know what my focus of the storyline was going to be, but I knew my topic and my message. I didn't know how to execute everything. Now, don't get me wrong and misunderstand me. I attended all my classes to be here. But I couldn't do it. I was giving everything, and I was pouring and giving out all my energy towards this project. The support by my teachers, Miss Ruth and Miss Kelly, were astronomical. They were always helping me, answering my questions within a matter of minutes, and always there to support me along the way. Now, let me just stop my story for a second real quick and tell you one of the biggest lessons that I learned while writing these. Just because some of you may think of me as lazy and that I'm doing myself really wrong by exposing me this way, let me just say I might have not started with this project till the last minute. However, I shall state first that teenagers, specifically those who are talking here today, perhaps have not aced all their classes, gotten all fours this year, perhaps they sleep in. They probably have not done all their chores. But still, they're giving and pouring out their best. They're taking the situation and making it the best they can. And you know what? They're allowed to be tired. They're allowed to rest. They're allowed to take naps during the day. But most of all, they need to take a break before they get themselves in a breaking point. Before you're able to focus on anything else, whether that's on sports, on chores, or any other activity, you need to start by focusing on yourself. Mental health itself is not just skincare, being lazy, not caring, or being numb about everything. It means your well-being. It means being able to be happy without faking it. It means crying but out of laughter. It means doing something you love, not for others, but for yourself. Some people might find comfort playing sports with their friends, reading books, eating, doing makeup, watching TikToks. I personally become my happiest near a sunset and some headphones, but that's just my personal choice. Now I know at times it may seem hard, impossible even to accomplish this, but in reality, it isn't. Sometimes we suffocate in drown when we see a pile of missing assignments in Google Classroom. Sometimes we stressed out because the teacher has just called on us to say the next answer. Sometimes it's because we don't know what trigonometry is. Because our favorite show has just been cancelled. Our team lost. Well, anyways, there's a ton of reasons why you can start feeling that you're drowning. But you must remember that there's a lifeguard near, willing to help you. There's a ton of reasons why you can feel that you start drowning. But you must remember that there's a lifeguard near, willing to help you. Something I have realized is that before you're able to be fine or well in other areas of your life, to be successful in them especially, you need to be alright in your mindset and your feelings. Those are like the most important things I personally recommend you to be aware of. So, unlike when you break your arm or something similar, with one's mental and emotional well-being, there is no straight path, no wrong and right decisions. As Nelson Mandela famously said, I either win or I learn. Most of the time, you either win something, whether that's a prize, a praise, a friendship, or something similar, or you learn from the situation that you were, or you learn from the previous situation you were in. Most of the times, and I include myself in this, I really hate this phrase, because although it's true, sometimes something bad happens, and you just want to watch your favorite shows. You want to cry till you have no more tears left. You just want to, I don't know, That depends on your situation, because the most important thing to remember is that everyone copes differently to the different situations we're presented to in life. We cannot expect someone to act even in a remotely similar way to us. Everyone copes differently, and that's alright. That's okay. No one should react the same way you do, because they don't have your same emotions, feelings, and thoughts. And you must remember that, okay? Another important thing is not to compare ourselves to others, whether that's to our brother, sister, mother, father, family, or even friends. Particularly to social media itself. We never know how much Photoshop is there, how much filters. We never know what's happening behind the scenes. Now, in all seriousness, sometimes people, whether that's the parents, the teachers, and even your friends, don't even fully realize the value and significance of the topic. Now, the topic itself, you might be wondering what it is. Well, it's mental health awareness. The importance of this topic is generally big. There is no investigation needed. However, I did do. Well, for starters, mental health, especially through the teenage years, it's in its most highest and significant point. It gives you an outlook of life. It is said to hold the most weight and worth. Whatever you do now, whether it's good or bad, can define and shape your future. And if you don't believe me, let me just say that that phrase that I just said was said by a Harvard psychology professor. Mental health is not talked about enough. Many cultures and families don't agree with the idea that mental health is bad. Some don't even acknowledge its existence. After extensive research on the situation, whether it was by Google searches, by books, by personal anecdotes, and by interviews with friends, I have come up with a conclusion that unlike when you break a glass, breaking and sharing out your feelings and emotional and mental well-being will just worsen the situation. Unlike when you have a cast, when you break your arm, there is no cure or medicine for these type of situations. The only recommendation I would say is, you gotta deal with it. Because if not, you won't be able to have a good recovery. It is not as simple as many other things. It is something that many people pass through, and we should also normalize it. However, in no way, shape, or form should we normalize having a bad mental health. It is nothing to joke about. Some consequences of not prioritizing one's mental health and emotional well-being are the development of eating disorders, depression, anxiety, panic attacks, among many other various situations. Now, no one chooses to have these, and it's not as simple to cure as just turning on and off the lights. I know for a fact that no parent wants their children to go through this. They just want to help in any and every conceivable way possible. Now, I'm about to finish, but let me just say a piece of advice real quick. Be there for someone, and let that someone be you. Thank you.